and welcome to today's daily devotion as we continue to look at the promises of God. Today's promise is, "Be courageous, for I am with you, and I will never fail you." Deuteronomy 31 verse 6 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread for them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you." These words were spoken by Moses at the very end of his life when he told the Israelites that he was not going to accompany them to the Promised Land. I cannot even begin to imagine how the nation of Israel must have felt when their trusted leader of 40 years told them that his time of leadership was at an end. They must have been struggling with fear because Moses encouraged them for not to be afraid. Moses went on to repeat this word of encouragement face to face to his trusted assistant Joshua in verses 7 and 8. It was important for Joshua to get a grasp on this promise from God as well because he was to be their new leader and the champion of their conquest to the Promised Land. In the time that these words were spoken, Israel was about to face literal giants in the land of Canaan, and so they needed to know for certain that God had promised to be with them wherever they went. In 2009, I thought I was on the right career path. I quit my old job of 12 years, graduated business college with honors, and quickly placed in what I thought my dream job was to be. I found out, though, that I was not meant to be there. I had a coworker at that time who made sure that my time there with her was to be as difficult as possible. I thought it was probably just growing pains as I was the new hire and things would eventually get better, but it did not. It finally came to a head around 6 months later where it ended up being too much to take and I ended up quitting. I called my parents in tears on the verge of a breakdown. I had invested so much time and so much money into what I thought was going to be my final career. I was so afraid what was ahead of me. There were so many unknowns, but as He always does, God met me there. He was my comfort and my strength when my life had all been but turned upside down, and He gave me the courage to keep going. A short time later, I approached my old boss, and he graciously accepted me back. A year back at my old job, a position actually opened up here at the church, and I now know that this is where I am meant to be. While it is not likely that any of us will be facing literal giants in our daily life, we are all facing giants of discouragement, fear, and despair in one way or another. My prayer is that this promise from God, spoken thousands of years ago to Israel, would bring comfort and strength to each one of us today. We do not have to be afraid. God is with us, and He will never leave us. May this truth go deep into our hearts so that we will have the strength we need when we face our own giants. God will not fail us. Thanks for joining us.